So the first thing we have to do is cast on. We'll be using tiny double-pointed needles and some sock yarn. Gauge isn't too important here. I'm using size 1 needles and some leftover sock yarn from another project. The number of stitches you'll have to cast on will vary based on the needles, yarn, and the size of the cord you're trying to knit around. I cast on 6 stitches. You may have to use more or less. Give it a try and see what works best for you and your cord. You don't want it to be so loose that it's sliding all over the place, but not too tight either, so that it's hard to get the yarn around the earbuds. That'll just cause tons of ladders between your stitches, which won't look good. Okay, now that you have your stitches on the needle, slide the stitches to the opposite side of the double-pointed needle. You'll be knitting without turning your work, just sliding it to the other side of the needle when you're done with the row. And keep knitting. Next, grab your earbuds and place the cord starting at the headphones jack on top of your work, like this. Notice how the long end of the cord is closest to you over the needle. Now start knitting the first stitch. Make sure to hold the cable so it doesn't slip. Pull the first stitch of the row a little tighter. It helps prevent ladders between the stitches. When you get to the end of the row, just slide the stitches back to the other end of the double-pointed needle and pull the earbuds cord under your working yarn and up over the needle again. You want to make sure when you start a row that the earbuds cable is between your needle and the working yarn. If your iCord fits the headphones nicely, but you still have some ladders, they may resolve themselves after you've knit a few more rows. I noticed this, but it cleared up after I worked some more. Give it a few inches before you give up. You may have to fiddle around with it a bit, but it should work out. Okay, just keep knitting like that until you get to the bulge where the headphones split off. If you have a microphone or volume adjustment on your earbuds, you might want to cast off at that point and start up again after the break. Now, as you work, you may notice the iCord getting a little twisted and coiled around the earbuds cord. It's not a big deal. Every once in a while, I straighten things out by twisting the iCord around the earbuds cord a bit. Now that you've reached the bulge before the headphone split, you may have to increase a few stitches and make a nice little pocket for it to fit into. I increased a couple of stitches here and then knit enough to fit the bulge. After that, I decreased the stitches I added to make the little pocket. For the increases, I knit in the front and back of the stitch. For the decreases, I just knit 2 stitches together. It doesn't matter what you choose to do here as long as it gets the job done. Okay, now that the pocket is finished, it's time to split our stitches for the 2 earbuds. Slide your stitches across the needle like you're getting ready to knit a new row. Put the first 3, or however many is half for you, stitches onto a little safety pin. We're going to ignore them for now and work with the others. Start knitting one of the earbuds into the remaining stitches on the needle, just like you've been doing for the rest of the cord. Again, you may notice some laddering. Make sure you pull those first stitches tighter. Some laddering happened for me here too, but it disappeared into the work as the iCord got longer. You may have to fiddle with it a bit, but you can get it looking good. Continue knitting that earbud until it's covered, then cast off. When you cast off, slide the stitches to the end of the needle like you're getting ready to knit another row, but cast them off instead. When you're making the earbuds, you'll want to complete one side before you start the other. To prevent some of the tangling, you can attach the side you're not working with to the main cord, like this. Once you're finished with that earbud, it's time to move on to the next. Pick up the stitches from your safety pin holder and put them back on your double-pointed needle. You won't have yarn here to work with, so you'll want to join it. I pulled it through the last stitch on the needle and held it there for a while I knitted the first row. This earbud goes just like the other. Keep on knitting. Here's what it looks like after you've knit a bit. You might see a little crotch in there. On mine it closed up pretty nice as I made the cord longer. If you want to make it a little neater, you can weave in the tail from the second earbud that you knitted. You know, it might be a good idea to pull it through a bit when you're tidying up the piece. When I was finished knitting these, I made sure the iCord wasn't coiled around the earbuds cord, and then glued it to the earbuds at the ends. I used Aleene's tacky glue, but it's not very durable, and I'd probably try something like E6000 if I had any left. I also prettied up the ends of the earbuds with some flat back faux pearls. You can decorate it however you like. Have fun! Alright, that's it. I hope you'd enjoyed the video. It was my first. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below, and I'll see if I can help you out. Happy knitting!